Hello everyone, my name is Casandra from Methodist University, Indonesia. Today I'm going to explain about Chapter 1 until Chapter 3 in thesis. Background of the study. One of the preliminary steps to completing a thesis is the background study for it. The background study for a thesis includes a review of the area being researched, current information surrounding the issue, previous studies on the issue, and relevant history on the issue. Ideally, the study should effectively set forth the history and background information on your thesis problem. The purpose of a background study is to help you to prove the relevance of your thesis question and to further develop your thesis. Here is the example of the background of study. Next is the problems of the study. Research problem is an area of concern or a gap in the existing knowledge that points to the need for further understanding and investigation. Problem statement is used in research work as a claim that outlines the problem addressed by a study. The problem statement briefly explains the problem that the research will address. If the topic of your research is food safety in the school feeding system, you need to first identify why food safety is lacking in schools. Your problem statement can explain that food safety in school feeding systems is an important concern and point towards a gap in research that shows that this problem has not been addressed. Here is the example of the problem of the study. The objectives of the study. Research objectives describe concisely what the research is trying to achieve. They summarize the accomplishments a researcher wishes to achieve through the project and provides direction to the study. A research objective must be achievable. It must be framed keeping in mind the available time, infrastructure required for research, and other resources. Before forming a research objective, you should read about all the developments in your area of research and find gaps in knowledge that need to be addressed. Here is the example of the objective of the study. The scope of the study. The scope of the study explains the extent to which the research area will be explored in the world and specifies the parameters within the study will be operating. Basically, this means that you will have to define what the study is going to cover and what it is focusing on. Similarly, you will also have to define what the study is not going to cover. This will come under the limitations. Generally, the scope of the research paper is followed by its limitations. Here is the example of the scope of the study. The significances of the study. In simple terms, the significance of the study is basically the importance of your research. The significance of a study must be stated in the introduction section of your research paper. While stating the significance, you must highlight how your research will be beneficial to the development of science and the society in general. You can first outline the significance in a broader sense by stating how your research will contribute to the broader problem in your field and gradually narrow it down to demonstrate the specific group that will benefit from your research. Here is the example of the significances of the study. Chapter 2. Derivational affixes. When we study about affixation, it cannot be separated with the study of words formation that is the branch of morphological study. Morphology is one of linguistics that is concerned with words and word formation. Katamba states that morphology is the study of the formation of words and internal organization of words. According to Carstairs, morphology is the area of grammar concerned with the structure of words and with relationship between words involving the morphemes that compose them. According to Lieber, morphology is the study of word formation, including the ways new words are coined in the languages of the world, and the way forms of words are varied depending on how they are used in sentence. Buji describes morphology as the study of the internal structure of words, deals with the form of lexemes, inflection, and with the ways in which lexemes are reformed, a word reformation. According to Fromkin, affixes are bound morphemes that may attach at the beginning, the end, in the middle, or both at the beginning and the end of a word. Ahmadi adds that morphemes as the basis for words are sometimes called root or base. Thus, morphemes such as happy, quick, tidy, print are roots. Furthermore, morphemes such as li, nurse, an, ear is non-roots. They are usually called affixes. Derivational is the process by which a new word is built from a root or base, usually through the addition of an affix. The process changes into different word class and meaning. All English prefixes and most suffixes are derivational. The basic function of derivational processes is to enable the language user to make new lexemes. Lexemes belong to lexical categories such as noun, verb, and adverb, and the derived lexemes may belong to a different category than their bases. Derivational affixes have a special characteristic. Here are the characteristics of derivational affixes according to Rahmadi. From the explanation above, the researcher concludes the affix is morpheme added to modify the meaning of the root to change its meaning and form a new word. It respectively go after and before the base. Chapter 3 Methodology. Miller and Schumacher in Sari describe research design as the plan and structure of the investigation used to obtain evidence to answer research questions. The design of this research is qualitative descriptive research. The objective of the study to analyze derivational affixes in the Jakarta Post articles. Based on the definition, qualitative research is one of research method which has purpose to get understanding about reality through inductively think process. For qualitative research, the researcher can identify subject, feel what she does in daily activities. In this research, the researcher involves in the situation and setting in the phenomena which is being researched. This research is aimed to analyze about derivational affixation and the form of data is in the word form rather than number. Arikunto states that data source is the subject from which the data are obtained. There are two data resources, namely primary data and secondary data. Primary data is the data obtained directly by the researcher, whereas the secondary data is data that obtained by the second part. Data collection is important to determine the result of the study. Here are some ways that the researcher used to get the data. 1. Library research. Library research refers to activities which are done by using library facilities. It may be useful for the researcher to find some books or required resources to support the data. The information needed is obtained by reading books, magazines, other references related to the subject matter. 2. Observation. An observation is needed by the researcher to know the affixation in the Jakarta Post articles. There are some steps that the researcher uses. A. Searching Jakarta Post newspaper at www.jakartapost.com. B. Collecting the articles from Jakarta Post newspaper. C. Taking 3 suitable articles. D. Finding and analyzing the form and differences in those articles. After collecting the data, the researcher will analyze the data. Data analysis is an important step in a research because the result of the analysis will answer the research questions. Huberman and Saldana consider that analysis in qualitative research is divided into 3 steps occurring together. There are data condensation, data display, and drawing and verifying conclusions. All about the explanation from chapter 1 to chapter 3 in thesis. And thank you very much for our lecturer Dr. Esron Ambarita for giving us this assignment.